If you are a nurse thinking about relocating abroad, one of the biggest questions you probably have is this: which country is actually the best? The UK, USA, Canada, or Australia? Because let's be honest, relocation is not just about moving, it is about salary, cost of living, career growth, work life balance, licensing stress, and overall quality of life. So in this video, I'm comparing UK versus USA versus Canada versus Australia for nurses to answer one big question: which country is the best to relocate to as a nurse? And I will tell you this from the beginning. There is no one size fits all answer. If your priority is raw salary, one country wins. If your priority is quality of life, another country becomes more attractive. And if your priority is using one country as a stepping stone, that changes the ranking again. So let's break it all down. So, section 1, we talk about the salary. So, let's start with the first thing everybody wants to know: where do nurses earn the most? I mean, which country do nurses earn the most? Based on official figures, the USA clearly leads on salary. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics says the median annual wage for registered nurses was about 93,600 US dollars in May 2024. That is the highest headline salary among the four countries we are comparing, and that was even in 2024. So you can imagine, probably is even higher now. In Australia, registered nurses have median weekly earnings of 2,192 Australian dollars, which works out to roughly 114,000 per year. Australian dollars per year. So if you analyze it, that is very strong, and it immediately makes Australia one of the most attractive destinations financially. In Canada, the national median wage for registered nurses is 43 Canadian dollars per hour. If you estimate that over a standard full-time year, that comes to about 90,000 Canadian dollars per year. Although actual income depends on province, overtime, and shift differentials. Then we come to the UK, which is the weakest on pay among the four in England. NHS Band 5 pays runs from £31,000 to £37,000. That's the typical pay band many newly registered nurses start on, although some roles and progressions can improve that over time. So if we rank salary alone, I will put it like this: USA first, Australia second, Canada third, and UK fourth. But salary alone does not tell the whole story, because what matters is not what you earn, it's also what your money can do for you. So, section 2, we talk about cost of living and lifestyle, because this is where the conversation gets more interesting. The USA may give you the strongest salary, but it also comes with a big difference depending on where you live. And that's in California, New York, or Massachusetts may earn a lot, but cost of living can also be very high. The upside down is that the earning potential is massive, especially for specialized nurses and those who progresses well in their careers. The downside is that the system can feel more intense and less balanced. Australia is where I think the balance becomes very attractive, because the pay is strong, the lifestyle is appealing, and many nurses are drawn to Australia because it often offers a combination of good earning, decent working conditions, and an outdoor relaxed quality of life. So if someone asks me for the best all-round option, I think Australia would be very hard to ignore. Canada also scores well on quality of life. Many people like Canada because of its public systems, multicultural environment, and long-term settlement appeal. But the trade-off is that weather can be extreme in many provinces, and some people find the process or settlement phase slower than expected. The UK has some big strengths too. It is familiar to many international applicants. The NHS is globally recognized, and the country can be a useful place to gain experience. But in terms of what nurses actually take home compared to everyday living cost, the UK often feels less rewarding financially than Australia, Canada, or the USA. So, in terms of salary plus lifestyle, I would say Australia has the best balance. Canada is also strong, if I may say. USA is excellent for money, but can be more intense. Overall, UK is the weakest for financial comfort. So we move on to section 3, which talks about licensing and relocation process. So this is very important because people often underestimate it. It can be easy or difficult for you to actually get there and start working. So let's say for UK, internationally trained nurses must register with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of the UK. The official process includes the English language requirement and for many applicants, the test of competence, which include both the CBT and the OSCE, which can take a while. For Canada, the process starts with NNAS, which describes itself as the first step for internationally educated nurses who wants to become nurses in Canada. After that, province regulatory steps follow. So Canada can feel more layered and province specific. For the USA, one major official requirement is visa screen, which is used for healthcare professionals seeking an occupational visa to work in the US. So while the salary is amazing, the route can be more demanding administratively. For Australia, the interesting development is that the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia now has a streamlined pathway for eligible internationally qualified registered nurses. The official guidance says eligible applicants may complete registration in 1 to 6 months, compared with the oldest process that typically took 9 to 12 months or even longer. So when it comes to process and access, I would say Australia is looking more attractive for international applicants because of the streamlined route. The UK remains structured and clear, especially for those comfortable with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of UK process. Canada can be attractive, but because of the provinces and different rules, it's more layered. The USA offers the biggest salary reward, but their process is the heaviest. So let's move on to section 4, which is career growth and long-term value. If your dream is to maximize your income and build a high-earning nursing career, especially in specialized practice, the USA is the obvious standout. It has the strongest pay ceiling. But if you want a country that gives you good earnings, attractive lifestyle, and strong relocation appeal, Australia may be the smartest all-round choice. If your goal is to settle in a country known for stability, multiculturalism, and strong long-term family appeal, then Canada is your choice. But if your goal is to enter a respected healthcare system, gain international experience, and possibly use that as a stepping stone, the UK is your choice, even though financially it's not the strongest. So my final verdict: to answer the question, which country is the best for nurses to relocate to? If you want the highest salary, go with the USA. If you want the best overall balance of salary, lifestyle, and opportunity, go with Australia. If you want quality of life and long-term settlement appeal, go with Canada. If you want a practical stepping stone and internationally recognized experience, go with the United Kingdom. But then, if I had to choose an overall winner, I would definitely go with Australia. Not because it beats every country in every category, but because it performs strongly across salary, quality of life, and relocation attractiveness. The USA is still the king of salary. Canada is still the greatest for lifestyle choice. And the UK is the greatest and strongest stepping stone destination. So that's my comparison of the UK versus USA versus Canada and Australia for nurses. If you are a nurse planning to relocate, tell me in the comment section, which country would you choose and why? And if you want, I can also make a follow-up video script on best country for careers to relocate to, best country for international nurses, best country for teachers, or even best nursing specialties for relocation, or even best country for international students. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm still your faceless advisor. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.